This video will introduce our third logical connective, and that's going to be disjunction. The main aim of this lesson will be to identify sentences of English, which should be translated using logical forms, including disjunction, and then we should figure out how to symbolize those English sentences appropriately using this new logical connective. The symbol we're going to use for disjunction is this one here, sometimes called V. Like conjunction, it's going to be used between two sentence letters, and again we'll use parentheses to show the boundaries of disjunction. The symbol we're looking at here stands roughly for the English word or. So we'll use disjunction to symbolize sentences like Wallace is in Australia or Jan is in Sweden. Vern will get either a cat or a dog. Cade likes to hike on Sunday or at least go for a walk. And also, Jackie owns a black or dark gray car. You might notice that unlike conjunction, there aren't a wide variety of words that get translated with logical disjunction. But there will still be some complexities to how we use the symbol to translate English sentences into logical symbolizations. We'll start, though, by looking at a straightforward example. Jackie owns a black or dark gray car. We can symbolize this with the two atomic statements B, Jackie owns a black car, and D, Jackie owns a dark gray car. We put B and D on either side of our symbol for disjunction, and we get something that roughly means B or D. Jackie owns a black car, or Jackie owns a dark gray car. When we write B, V, D, the meaning of logical disjunction is compatible with the sentence Jackie owns a black or dark gray car being true in any of these following circumstances. Jackie owns a gray car, could be true if that's the case. It could be true if Jackie owns a black car. And it could be true if Jackie owns two cars, one black and one gray. What we looked at just now is an example of an English statement where or was used inclusively, where it was possible for both the disjuncts to be true. In English, we can also use or exclusively, where we only allow one of the disjuncts to be true. It's important, though, to remember that logical disjunction expresses the inclusive meaning. So we need the symbol V to symbolize any inclusive uses of or, which are most of the uses in English. But our English use of the word or can also have this exclusive meaning. To capture that with logical symbolization, we're going to need to add symbols beyond just disjunction. So here's an example of a sentence where we use or exclusively in an English sentence. Vern will get either a cat or a dog. If someone says this, it's pretty reasonable to assume that Vern is not looking to get a cat and a dog. He's probably trying to decide between the two pets, but not to get both pets. So there are two atomic statements involved with this. C, Vern will get a cat. D, Vern will get a dog. If we just use C, V, D, that captures that he will get one or the other, but allows that he might get both pets. Think back to now our previous lesson. We said that we can symbolize that someone doesn't do two things with the negation of a conjunction. So the second part of the symbolization at the bottom there says it's not the case that Vern will get a cat and get a dog. capturing that not both part of the original sentence's meaning. So to express this statement where or is used exclusively in English, we need more than just logical disjunction. We need the conjunction, the middle symbol there, of a disjunction of C or D, and the negation of a disjunction, and the negation of a conjunction, to say not both. The logical symbolization here is more complicated than the original English sentence that we use to express it, but it's necessary to correctly capture what we mean with the logical symbols. Like conjunction, disjunction is also going to interact with negation in a kind of tricky way. How would you translate Shelley didn't eat the peas or the carrots? Or alternatively, in English we might say, Shelley ate neither the peas nor the carrots. Think for a moment about what these sentences are saying. How might we translate these with the logical symbols we already know? So if you see the statement, Shelley didn't eat the peas or the carrots, that means it's not the case that Shelley ate either the peas or the carrots. So we know again that we have two simple statements involved. There's Shelley ate the peas and Shelley ate the carrots. And this here is a denial of the disjunction. So the negation falls outside. It's not the case that she ate either the peas or the carrots. So we have in the parentheses, Shelley ate either the peas or the carrots, and then we negate that. It's not the case that she ate either, to get not P or C. I think this is a little bit harder symbolization to understand. There's maybe an easier one, though, that doesn't use disjunction. Shelley didn't eat the peas or the carrots also means that Shelley didn't eat the peas and she didn't eat the carrots. Using the same two atomic statements, but a different arrangement of logical connectives, we can express that as not P and not C. So despite the original sentence containing the word or, we can give it a symbolization that doesn't contain a logical disjunction. Think for a minute. Where have you seen this symbolization before? The one on the bottom. By reasoning about how to symbolize Shelley didn't eat the peas or the carrots, we discovered that we could symbolize it in the same way that we symbolized Shelley didn't eat the peas and didn't eat the carrots. The statement we examined when we were looking at how conjunction interacts with negation. So these two English sentences and their corresponding logical formulas mean the same thing, despite using different connectives. And it turns out there's another pair of statements, one using conjunction, the other disjunction, that also mean the same thing. When we studied conjunction, we symbolized Shelley didn't eat the peas and the carrots as it's not the case that both P and C. That's what we see the third symbolization down on the right. The English sentence that symbolization corresponded to means the same as Shelley didn't eat the peas or didn't eat the carrots. She might have not have eaten one, she might not have eaten the other, maybe she ate neither. That can be expressed as not P or not C, the fourth symbolization down on the right. Together, these four example sentences of English and their symbolizations illustrate a pair of logical equivalences, which often get called De Morgan's laws. So, not A and not B is logically equivalent to the negation of A or B. And not A or not B is logically equivalent to the negation of A and B. What this tells you is that if you see an English statement that could be translated as not A or not B, you could also symbolize that statement as the negation of A and B. Either of those symbolizations is equally good because they are logically equivalent. Here's another parallel with conjunction. Some sentences that use or cannot be translated properly with logical disjunction. Remember, we saw that with some sentences with and, too. If we used logical disjunction to symbolize these sentences, the problem is it wouldn't accurately express what someone who said these things was trying to convey. If we look at a sentence like, everyone who ordered pasta or chicken parmesan got sick, we need to translate this as P and C, where P is everyone who ordered pasta got sick, and C is everyone who ordered chicken parmesan got sick. So in our ordinary English, the or is used to say that you only had to eat one or the other to get sick. But the original statement was trying to convey who got sick. We have to state that all the pasta eaters got sick and all the chicken parm eaters got sick. So here we need to use conjunction to symbolize the meaning of this statement properly. It might be worth pausing the video now and thinking about the next two examples, and hopefully you'll see that similar reasoning applies. So if you read, I try to leave the party before anyone boring or annoying arrives, it will also be better symbolized with conjunction. And same with vegetables or fruits are good for you. By the end of this lesson, you've gotten to see some of the more interesting ways that these logical symbols start to interact, and how we can more precisely use them to reveal the nuance in what we convey with English sentences. With our last main symbol in the next lesson, we'll have all of our most important logical tools in hand for symbolizing English.